Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. My name is William Michael Forbes. I'm a spiritual medium, a channel, and an intuitive life coach. And today I have with me two beings, Master Jesus and Nicola Tesla, who want to discuss the concept that the future is now, in particularly your future is now. Your future is now. In other words, it's important you understand how energy actually works. And we're going to get into that in a few moments. I want to say good morning, everybody. I want to say thank you to our supporters and welcome. If you want to support this channel, you can do so through our Patreon account, patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And you can also support on the live super chats here. So if you want for a small donation, you can prioritize your questions because we get into questions and answers a little later on in the program, and you can use that feature there as well. But Nicola came in and said people do not understand what he said when he meant energy, vibration, and frequency were the keys to the secret of the universe. Do you want to understand the whole creative process? Energy, vibration, and frequency. Those three things were crucial for understanding how to create changes in time and space. Your future is now if you can see your future now. This is what he's saying. Like, your future is now if you can see your future now. Most of the people, when I was in physical form, did not see the future now. They saw their past present. They saw only what they saw in the moment of their eyes, what their eyes and ears revealed them. They could not see their future. They could not see the future I envisioned. Although you are seeing it now in your world, the future I envisioned, you are seeing it unfold rapidly. It could have happened much faster if more of humanity were engaged in the understanding that your future is now. It is an idea that has a sensation and a feeling and a vibration to it that is consistently given attention in the moment, as if the moment is the future now. And if you give attention to your ideas of the future now and live as if the future now is here, the process of acceleration for the transformation of humankind will be significantly faster than it ever could have been ever in times past, but especially in times now. But from what I observe and what this one has shown me, you are still stuck in your past present. You are not living in a future now. This is something you must choose. The innovation and invention and creativity that I had came from a future now. It came from an envisionment, an understanding of what certain things outside of the realm of the normal meant in terms of a creative expression, how it would improve our quality of life while we were in bodies, how it will improve the quality of your life while you are in a body. But you cannot create your future now if in your past present you sit and think and stew, which many of you do. And it is time to end that. I do not have the same constraints in what I can say and what I can do than when I was in form, where those players of money and power chose to satisfy themselves in the past present rather than in the future now. I offered solutions and ways for humanity to freely and joyously, creatively have everything available to them, that none of you should be left, without what you require. What I received freely, and what I gave, I attempted to give freely. And now it is coming through in the channel that is created, that of your monetary systems, which are still plagued with horrible problems of leveraging some above others at the expense of the others that are doing the leveraging above them. It is important you understand there is no limit to creative innovation, especially now. Especially now, there is no limit to your creative innovation, but it can only be experienced and manifested from a future now. Can you be clear about that? He's saying, no, I can't be clearer than that. Okay, so you have the life that you're living right now in your physical body. We all do. We have these physical bodies that we see with our eyes, we hear with our ears, we touch with our hands, we smell with our noses. We have that physical reality. That physical reality is one reality based on the 5 physical senses. And the 5 physical senses are limited in what they can do and be based on the 5 physical senses. You as a soul, who you are, not who you think you are, who you are, is not bound by this mechanism, but this mechanism can be liberated by who you are. You may move anywhere in your consciousness. You may envision anything in your mind, and it will become so if you feel it. That is the key to vibration. Feeling, emotion is the key to understanding how we as humans harness vibration. We harness vibration with our attention and our emotions. He's saying to me right now, he's saying, I didn't have time to get into the philosophical aspects of what it was I did. My drive was to make humanity free, to experience all that life has to offer. I'll leave the philosophizing to this one here. It is important to understand what he says, for if you realize that the vibration of your emotion is the inspiration for your actions, the vibration of your emotions is the inspiration for your actions. From that, all of my ideas flowed. He's saying that his experience of electricity, he understood. He's saying, I understood that electricity is the foundation of life in all of its expressions, and what you may call a rock or a vacuum of space still contains this electrical energy, which is life. You have that life flowing through you, and it is flowing through all things, and it can be so manipulated and utilized as to do great things for humanity, as you are seeing now. But these things you see now are still very small and pale in comparison to the visions that I had, where all humans would be free to express their creativity, for there would be no fear of not having heat. There would be no fear of not having cool. There would be no fear of not being able to produce food from the mechanisms and the machinations that were my manifestation, my vision, my creative love, my creative joy in this world when I was in form, that are now coming in different ways now. But from my view, humanity would not be in this caste system that you see on your world today. Everybody would recognize the value of each. And if everyone is fed and everyone is clothed and there is no fear, you as a species can function very differently than you could ever imagine if you had no fear. But you cannot let go of your fear because it is your past present, and your body can't make that leap. Your mind cannot make that leap. Only you can see the future now and feel the future now and be the future now and allow the vibrational nature of those qualities to manifest themselves for you, whether that be as science or art or literature. You may allow these to manifest for you as you will, But humanity was never meant to be in a system as different as it is now, where there are those that have so much and those that have so little. When everything is available to all, simply the mechanisms were not allowed to manifest. I was sabotaged repeatedly in my attempts to communicate the value of equality, the sharing of the divine gifts of the Spirit to all. For if one is not hungry, they do not need to steal. They do not need to take. But at that time, and even now still, there are those that place the acquisition of their own comfort above the well-being of all others, when they do not realize that the well-being of all others is the ennoblement of all, including themselves, the elevation of all. This is a difficult concept for many of you, especially those of you in positions of power and responsibility, to recognize that to provide that which is needed to all is to liberate all from suffering. And if there is no suffering, there would be joy, there would be love. And so you find yourself in this position of polarity with one another. And each of you is in fear of the other, each of you in anger of the other. And I've seen this before. I don't care for it. My focus now is to remind all of you that can hear and know that your future is now. And it is important you understand, what is your future? Is your future the same as it has been? The haves and the have-nots. It is not sustainable. When infinite light sustains all equally, you have not yet mastered your ability to realize that what you can give unconditionally, you will receive unconditionally. Wow. He's saying that his movement through time and space now, his movement through time and space is very different. It's from, he says it's from a place of bliss. He works from a place of bliss because there are no limits. He says there are no limits when you realize energy is infinite and equal in potential at all points of time and space. He says the finite mind has difficulty comprehending that any point of time and space is equal in potential to all other points of time and space. He says is difficult because the finite mind, your mind, weighs things based on your five physical senses. So you can't see the truth that whether it's a grain of sand or a planet, that the energy potential in both is equal, only differing in its perception by your physical senses, and thereby your physical senses will limit the way in which you can utilize the energy from either. He's saying once you understand the principle of the equality of energy throughout all perceptual reality, you will recognize that there are no limits, that there is no need to have some and have some not. It is important. Yes, it's funny because I've had Master Jesus here too, kind of standing back and to the left of me, and usually he comes right in. But he's communicating a very strong vibration of love to all of us. He says, please understand and listen that your Creator, who gave you your body, loves all of you equally, and to all of you he will give equally, according to your belief, according to your faith. What do you mean? Okay, so I've just asked Jesus if what does he mean by faith? Because we hear that word a lot, faith. In the context of what is being communicated to you today from this other one you call Nikola Tesla, it is important you understand that faith in the context of today is understanding that the energy and the vibration that you may utilize and harness as your awareness being. That is whom you are, that may feel and know that which is beyond what your body may know and feel, to understand that you have immediate and direct access to all the possibilities and potentials that are available to each and every particle of being. What do you mean by that? Everything throughout the kingdom is equal. It is only, he's saying, if you understood the beauty of that equality, then you would know that to have more of something does not mean another must have less. It is those that believe, that actually have more, that believe they can have less. Many of those that have more believe they can have less. And as a result, they hold on to that which they have more of. And those who have less believe they have less because of those who have more, but they hold on to less because of their belief that the other has more. It is according to your own beliefs and the vibration of your energy that determines what you will manifest. He says the time is changing now very rapidly. This creation is just one simple thing for all of you to experience. And you want to understand the essence of love. In order to understand the essence of love, you must recognize that that is what you are. You are the essence of love. And what is a future but love? If your future is but love and your future is now, then love would become the dominant expression of being for each of you. I'm trying to figure out, what does that mean now? When we said to this one that your future is now, he understood that his vision of the future must be held in mind and heart and body now. Your future of what you wish to be in your expression must be held in mind and body now. Do not give way to the fears of the past, which are all around you now. It is all around you, and you must realize that that which is around you is not that which is within you, but you must remember that. You must remember that that which you hear and see is not that which you are, but only what you hear and see. But what you may choose to hear and see in what you are is greater than all of that which you may see and hear with your eyes and hear with your ears. Much greater are you than all of this. But you must know your future now, your joy, your love, your compassion, your creativity, to know those as the vibration of your being right now, to know those now, regardless of what your sights and sounds are trying to tell you through this mechanism in which you are experiencing this reality. You, as the awareness, must bring forth the reality into this, as above, so below. So you must rise above what your senses are telling you. Rise above to the vision of your future, your joy, your love, the things that you so seek desperately in this world that you must find within your own heart. And it is what you find in your heart and bring forth into action, into form, that you will find your faith will become flesh. Your faith will become flesh. You want to, yeah, faith will become flesh. Okay, so I'm understanding this right, that if people hold a vision of the future that they want now, as if it's right now, as a feeling, that is taking a faith in an idea and making it flesh. No, he's saying when you can bring the feeling, the joy, the contentment of that which you have as your future, bring it into the present moment. This is making that which you hold in faith into flesh. For what you will say and what you will do is very different than what your eyes and ears tell you you should do or see or be. You are much greater than this. Wow. Like I said, this has been started at 7:30 this morning, where they're coming in, and again, trying to understand that your future now. It's really important to understand what your future now is. What future do you want to be experiencing now? Yeah, and they've been yes. Tesla's saying that you can have a future now, and you can make a decision that that might take years and years. In his case, he said what he was doing would have happened very rapidly, but the existing people at that time put up great resistance to the idea of everybody being equal. They felt very threatened. And so he was unable to complete his work. He says, but on the other planes of consciousness, I've worked with many others in this world. A lot of your innovations you see today are still effects of my work. And there are those that are in the flesh now that are operating even greater than I ever did. Yes, I know. People like Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos and other beings like that are actively bringing in a vision of the future into now. Well, the most of us are still stuck in the past and the fear. Got to let it go. Get out of the fear. Get out of the fear. Yeah, get out of the fear. For what? Yeah. Master Jesus is saying, for whatever you hold attention to, that will become your experience. That will become your faith. Your fear can become your faith, as your love can become your faith. So it's very interesting that this time is really about that. Can you right now envision a future yourself so strongly, so powerfully, so profoundly, that you can feel your whole body, your whole world, your whole awareness rock with the vibration of that future, with the excitement of that future, with the bliss of that future? Can you be as brave enough to do that, to go so deeply into every cell in your body? You imbue every cell in your body with the energy, yes, the energy of your future now. Your future now. You have to make it now. They keep telling me this now, not later. Future's not going to happen later. It happens now. Being so deeply ingrained in the joy and the bliss of the future now, right now, to feel it right now, your actions and your words shall be in support of them. When that which you hold close to your heart shall govern all, what's that word you're using? All of the children. All of the children, like all the cells in your body, every cell in your body, when you hold the energy of a future, of joy, of excitement, of playfulness, when you hold such a future in your body, literally the whole body wants to act on that. Like a little child sees something, get really excited, right? Their excitement drives. It's not the thing may have stimulated the excitement, but their idea of excitement, the energy of their excitement, is what drives their body to action. And it's true for us as adults or children or teenagers. It's what we're feeling that drive our action. And if we can't learn to control our feelings, and believe me, no matter what any doctor or psychiatrist has told you, you have the power to control your emotions. Everyone does. You have the power to control your thoughts. You may have to develop it. It may be poorly developed, but like anything, you have it within you, the power to control your thoughts and emotions. Yes. And without that ability, without that developed, then you're like a ship without a rudder, or you're down up the creek without a paddle, right? Because your awareness, your attention, which directs thought and can direct emotion, you as a soul, that is what you need to be aware of, so that you can direct the vehicle, this vehicle that you have through this life the way you want it to be, based on the quality of emotions and energies that will sustain you. Yeah. Master Jesus is saying love, he says, the vibration of love is greater than your faith. When you understand that the future, your future now, is that which you would love, then your love is greater than the faith of your future. Once you have a love of your future now, then that will govern your actions far more profoundly than your faith will, for your faith implies that there may be something else outside of your inability to manifest what you wish. But he's being very clear, being very, very clear that our love, a vibration of love in a future now, is greater than anything. He said, he's laughing. He's saying, this whole thing of fear on your planet right now, it is being brought to your attention. You must all choose to reject it. You must choose to reject anything that would imply that you have something to fear in this world. The only thing you have to fear in this world are the ideas that support the manifestation of fear in this world. For your love would never support nor produce anything that would harm or threaten. Love does not do that. Wow. Love does not do that. That's pretty cool. I like that. Wow, I hope everybody's having a great day. This has been a blast for me all morning. Like I said, this has been going on since 7:30. Just being in the vibration of absolute joy of a future now, to live in an energy, knowing that we can live in a world that is not only where we live in a human civilization that not only is self-sustaining, but it's economical, and it honors and respects the entire life of the planet and all the beings on it. This whole idea that we had to take to feel fulfilled is strictly based on our bodies, and are strictly based on the bodies need to thrive and survive. The understanding of who you are as a soul, has no such conception of limitation. It does not need, it knows how to create and produce things from inspiration, to receive from the Godhead ideas and information that will ennoble and enable you to bring forth things in this world that will create life more abundantly than just producing more babies, but abundantly in the sense of creativity, in the sense that you can spread out your wings into this universe without hurting your home. Without hurting our homes. They're both saying that, suffering is unnecessary. It really, really is. No matter what anybody tells you, suffering is unnecessary. When you are in a vibration of love and your body is feeling a vibration of love, not only can your body not get sick, but the things you're going to think and say are going to be very, very different. You watch people who are depressed or believe they're in depression. They think that's what they are. That's who they are. I'm depressed, or I'm anxious, or I'm afraid. People who believe they are those things can only function according to that. Yes, Jesus is saying, according to their faith, so be it. So learning to cultivate a vibration of your future now being incredible and phenomenal, and staying centered in that becomes your new place of creation from. He says too many are stuck, but they are not stuck. What do you mean? They simply have to turn away from that which they are so focused on. They have to turn their attention away. I've said this many times. You must turn the other cheek. And I will be very specific about this. Turning the other cheek does not mean anything in relation to somebody out there, although it does to a degree. But for this, turning the other cheek means to turn away from your anger, to turn away from your fear, to turn away from your doubt, to turn yourself away, turn your attention to love, being love. Do not let these old things hold you. Yeah. Let them go. Let them go. Let your fear, your anger, your uncertainty, let them go. Cool. Yeah. Sorry. Master Jesus is saying, tell them. Fear and love are no less cherished by God. Fear and love are no less cherished by God, but the works of one are good, the works of the other are not. So choose whom you will serve. Choose whom you will serve. Which master will you serve? And I highly recommend choosing love. And it can be really exciting as you begin to say, no, I'm not going to focus on anger. I'm not going to focus on judgment. I'm not going to focus on how I feel about that. They're going to focus on what I really envision for the future. Humanity, everybody having available food, clothing, and shelter. We can do this. And it doesn't have to be the expense of trees and nature. We have knowledge and wisdom coming into this planet right now that can create such a sustainable humanity that would honor and respect the natural kingdom equally. We're in that process right now. We're in that process right now, that beginning to emerge, where there are many beings coming into the planet are realizing, wait a minute, we don't have to cut jungles down to have food and fuel and furniture and shelter. There's other things we can use to create it with that will not harm the environment. As we get more centered in that, we liberate ourselves. Let's get into some questions and answers here about this. So your future now, please understand what they're saying. What you are holding in your mind is manifesting the reality you're experiencing. Watch what you put in your mind. Please turn your televisions off. Stop listening to the fear-mongering of other beings. Turn your attention away from that which would give you fear and turn your attention to love. Get your attention into a future now of joy. Like imagine that so much love could unfold on this planet in the next 12 hours or 2 days that all of a sudden an energy called a virus could be eliminated instantly, because a virus resonates with what it resonates with. And most viruses are fear-based organisms. They function on a strictly physical plane based on fight or flight. They're very primitive organisms, viruses. And they're very simple, right? They're very simple. They just exist, but they don't think or reason like we do. They just do everything they can to exist. And your body's basically a bunch of bacteria. It's not who you are, but your body's bacteria and the quality of it is dependent upon the qualities of emotions that you engage in. Yeah, Nicola is saying that the electrical quality of your body is very important. He's saying you can adjust the electrical quality of your body in several ways. I created devices that would allow you to impart an energy into your body that aligned it to a higher frequency that no other form of virus or disease could resonate with. Basically, it's like taking an elevator up, he said. It was taking like an elevator up above that in your body's vibration. And that's Jesus saying, and love does the same thing. Love does the same thing. When you are in a state of love and you're in a state of excitement, you bring the consciousness of your body to a level that lower vibrational organisms, like viruses and bacteria and things that are unhealthy in your body, can't permeate the body because they're not in resonance. It's like we got all these radio signals going through here right now. Why aren't they intermingling? They're not. They're on their own bandwidth. Well, when you lower your vitality and health by eating improperly, not having the proper food or drinks, when you don't have those things, you will have a problem. Just a second. Just going to pause here for just a moment, if you might, and then we will get to questions and answers. Wonderful. The universe bringing me gifts again. Getting to that place where you can align yourself so deliberately and intentionally to a vibration of love right now. You break the connection to anything that's less than that. So let's get into some Q&A, guys. Wow. So I'm just going to scroll back up here. Wonderful. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for showing up today. Hello, Lori, Patricia. A question from Reflection for Tesla. What was your method to connect with the Akashic records to download inventions or information? He's saying I simply stopped thinking about the world. I simply just turned inside. I would turn inside and I always looked up. I made my body look up to the heavens. He says that in itself, I always felt it come down to me. It always came down to me when I looked up with my body. But I would not be in this world the way you understand. I was not distracted by this world, so I could hear what was given to me, and I could be curious and excited. And I knew that things were free. Everything is free. And so it came to me freely, and I aspired to give it freely. So yes, tell this one that they may sit quietly and let their mind be quiet and look up for exciting, inspiring things. Anticipate it, and it will come to you. It will come to you very easily and naturally, but you must be out of this world in your attention. Your attention must not be in this world. Great question, Reflection. Thank you so much. Question from Blaine. We read that you reside in Hollow Earth. Do you exist physicality down there? He's saying, no, I do not at this time. There are too many changes, physically speaking, on your planet today to allow me for to have that kind of luxury at this time. It is much easier for me to work with many others in the non-physical dimensions of being. For the issues of time and space are significantly ameliorated when you are not in them. And so what you might call now or past or future is very different in a vibration of being that which you are as a consciousness or as an awareness. I can affect people that affect the past, present. I can interact with people that affect the future, past, and I can interact with people that are in the now. I don't have the constraints of time and space that you have when you are in a physical body. Cool. Great question, Blaine. A question from Manoj. I've just started doing a course in Miracle 7. Please ask Jesus how I'm doing and if he has any advice for me. He's saying you need to whisper. He says, get your mind to whisper. Don't let it talk so loud to you. Allow yourself to feel what you are aspiring to feel, rather than to try and anticipate what you might feel or what might change. He says, feel it now. Do not anticipate, but feel it now. It is what you are doing now that you can know how you are doing. And you do not need my approval to be or know that which you already are. Yes. Yeah. He says, stop seeking permission to be what you are. Nobody can approve of you but you. He says, I love you. I love all of you. I love all of you. But if you do not approve of yourself, then even my love could be tainted by your lack of self-love. Wow, thank you so much. Question. Reflection. How powerful are we as spirits inhabiting human bodies? He's laughing. He's saying, most of you are believing that you are bodies without spirits. So it is very difficult to respond in such a fashion that most of you would understand. But if you understand that you are spirits that are working through bodies, you'd be limitless in your capabilities and creativity. But from the perspective of a spirit being in a body, thinking it is the body, there are many limitations from that perspective. Thank you for that question, Reflection. Question from Lori. A coworker named Linda has chronic migraines. Do you have any insights for her as to the source of her pains? I don't know who this is, but they're saying she has to stop looking back. She has to stop looking back. Tell her to stop looking back. Yeah, but how can that translate into a relief of this? Because this is what I'm hearing. The relief will come without constantly reminding herself of what is behind her, or anticipating that what is behind her will be in front of her. Stop looking back. Can she not remember herself? Can she not know how beautiful she is? Can she realize that in a moment? Can she stay steadfast in the beauty of who she is? Can she stay there? This condition you call will ameliorate itself very rapidly in anybody, any condition of a physical nature. If you align to a vibration of love, will ameliorate itself very rapidly. She must let go of the past. Cool. Stop looking back. Wow. A lot of us have to do that, right? Wow. I Am Universe is asking, I've been researching Tesla medbeds. Are these true Tesla technology? Thank you. He says the technology that you call medbeds are simply an offshoot of my initial technology, which was a simple wand that you could hold on to in a single hand. You didn't need to take up that much space to generate total restoration and healing. There's a simple device you can hold in your hand that will do the exact same thing. There are a few of these still on the planet today. There are still a few on this planet today, but these technologies were meant to be free. But any of you can be free of the technology once you are free of your humanness. When you know what I knew and now know, you will be free of that even. He's saying there are things like, there are places where there is running water that you may sit by, places where there are certain metals in rock where water runs over that you may sit by that will do the same thing. If you understand the inductive processes of electrical energy, then you'll understand why this could possibly work. For a lot of what I did in terms of human health and wellness was with the understanding of the process of induction into the body of certain frequencies that could reorganize the conditions in the body to a different state. Yes. He says there's also places where you may stand in the air. There are places where you may stand in the air where the electrical flow of air will do the same thing as what you call these med beds. Nature, I discovered, contains all the things inventively and naturally that I could have invented or any can invent. Nature has this already for you, but many of you are so busy trying to think that you can create better than what is already created by the Creator itself, and so you struggle. But there are places in air, by water, and in water that will do as much as these med beds. Wow, thank you, I Am. Great question. Great question. Question from Adam. How did all his inventions conceptualize before him without even thinking? Was he connected to extraterrestrial consciousness, allowing him to see things easier? He's smiling. He's saying, when you understand that this information is available to all of us, always, it is simply a matter of learning how to see with what you know. What do you mean by that? By feeling, by what you feel. If you feel yourself connected to all, then you will have all available to you. You may call them Pleiadians, you may call them Lemurians, you may call them whatever you may, but all beings are connected to all beings. The difference is I was aware of this, but I did not need to differentiate it into different species or different beings. We were just sharing the same beautiful light that we all naturally share anyway in the nature of our being. Cool. Thank you, Adam. Great question. Wow. Yeah, there's huge energy pouring through right now, guys. I don't know if you can feel it, but it's coming through me like really like My heart chakra is like blasted wide open. Like I can feel the clarity, the love, the freedom that is available all the time for us. Your future now. Consider what your future now is. What is your future now? Can you hold it so intensely in your awareness that you feel it vibrating in your body? Can you keep it that way in spite of what's going on in this world? Can you stay in that and watch your actions and your thoughts change because of what you're holding on to in your mind so deeply and so profoundly and so strongly? It's going to change you. And that's one of the reasons my heart chakra is just blasting open, because I've been now aligning to that with these guys today. The clarity of the understanding of how the future is now. It's not down the road. It's now. It's a vibration now. They're saying, yeah, somebody's also saying there's still the issue of hands doing things. There are hands that will do things, but the work will be light and easy if you understand that it's coming from a place of love and joy. If your future now is love and joy, then all works will be good things. Those of you that struggle in large companies with a future vision, those of you that struggle in frustration are not living a future. You're living in your fear of this little life that you think you are going to be a little worker the rest of your life, but you don't realize that the future that you are creating in working together with each other, whether you are cleaning a floor or the top of the company, you are all creating a future now. And if you understand the joy of your future now, there would be no complaint from anybody. If you all understood the future now, there would be no complaint from any of you. You would be living in great joy and gratitude, knowing your future now is now. It's not going to happen. It's now. Thank you. Thank you, Adam. Wow. Question from Terry. Are we all cells in the body of the Creator, as above, so below, just like the cell? No, Master Jesus is saying, no, you are not cells in the body of the Creator. You are cells in the body of its manifestation, but you as a consciousness are one with it. You are one with it. This one you call Nicola Tesla, he understood this and used his relationship, his connection, unbroken, as do others. But you are not an extension of, you are one with. Your form is an extension of. This world is an extension of. But you are one with. He's saying at an even deeper level, you will realize when you know what your future is now, you will realize it all is one. And you will be grateful for it all. Even those things you call mosquitoes, you'll be grateful for them, for you will understand that they are as equally wondrous and splendid as the beings that they are, manifesting through that tiny little form you call a mosquito. The being there is as equal to you. Great question, Terry. Thank you so much. Question from Luz. Okay. Another question. Crying. The master said the future. I'm not sure what that means. That's a little cryptic for my human brain. Remember, they work through my content in my mind. They've got the content in my mind, and when I'm clear enough, I can interpret different things and bring it down into my mind to represent it as accurate as I can. Because there's a lot of what they say, a lot of what they communicate that I can't communicate because I don't have a language framework in my mind. Even with Metatron, when he comes in and he starts to talk about complex mathematical formulas, I can see these letters and stuff flowing, but I don't have the brain to assemble them into the order that he knows they exist in. So when you ask a question like that, it's hard for the William mechanism to understand the meaning of it. But yeah, the future is now. Thank you. Oh, happy birthday, Arlene. I wasn't aware it was Arlene's birthday. Happy birthday to Arlene. And happy birthday to Ariel. Wow, wonderful. Good news to everybody. Question from Deanna Fitzpatrick. I'm reading your autobiography and you explain how you healed. I feel I am destined to heal in the same manner. Am I correct? He says, all that can aspire to know their destiny shall reach it. It is not in the query of your pursuit that you will find the truth, but in the being of that which you seek to pursue. Be it now. You do not have to wait till you have a training. Be that vibration now. Be it now. The future is now. If you can allow yourself to but feel that, to feel that as what you are, and to bring that, the knowledge of what you are as this healing power into your form, then healing will be as effortless to you as it is breathing. Well, thank you, Deanna. I appreciate that. Oh, wonderful. Hi, Edgar. Thank you for that super chat. Really appreciate it. Edgar's asking, how did alchemy play a part in what Tesla did during his lifetime? And are there any modern books that would be helpful to read during this time? Thank you. The first thing he's saying, the understanding of alchemical processes, you must understand that the nature of what you are is alchemical. The nature of what you are is alchemical. For you as you are can organize things differently than they appear. As you are, the changing of things from one state to another is what you do as a being. You are the great alchemist. You are that. And I was aware that I am one with this information. And so I was not disconnected from it. It flowed freely to me as it always will. And it does for you. When you understand this, you will be free. Books. He's saying you do not need books. He's saying you do not need books if you understand how to hear and ask and know. If you know your future, then you will receive all you need to build it. If you know your future, you will receive all you need to build it. The greatest book is in your heart. This place that you, okay, Master Jesus is stepping in and saying, but it has to do with what you call the Akashic record. The Akashic record is an information of all points of consciousness without limit. And you may access this by simply accessing it. By detaching yourself from this perception of separation, you may ask for the inspiration of your future. You may ask for the guidance of the truth. What I would say to you is to ask simply, what will inspire my love and my joy and my excitement more than anything? What would inspire my love, my joy, and excitement? And if you dwell on this and let that come forth, then you will live that life. Wow. Thank you, Edgar. Really appreciate that question. And thank you for the super chat. Much appreciated. Question from Carol. Someone called Brian Besco creates tensor rings, wands, and many other items that are purported to be based on Tesla technologies. Do they really work? If so, how best to use them? Again, he's saying to me, if you understand your nature as an electrical being, your body is an electrical conductive material that you are bound to electromagnetically, and you may draw new energy into this form. A lot of you are trying to deal with the form from the perspective of the form. The devices that I created pulled ether. He's calling it ether. ether right into matter. But I discovered after I left the form that the ether can be brought into matter by will alone. But you may find these things and you will know if they work, for you will feel the ether in your body respond to the ether from the other. Does that mean that? Okay. So essentially what he's saying is you can take these things, you can take these devices, and you will know immediately. And we had friends here in Hamilton that ran a shop down in Hamilton where they actually recovered old Tesla technology. And we went down there, I guess about 9 years ago, and they had what was called a Tesla wand. And you literally hold this thing in your hand and you literally feel your entire body energetically change. So from that perspective, your body should feel an immediate, if it's a real device, your body will have an immediate reaction. Yeah, he's saying there's no delay. If the technology is sound, your body will have an immediate reaction. Instant. So there's no delay. If the electrical extent, the expression of the electrical medium is greater than the receiving matter, then the receiving matter will react instantaneously. He's saying in this case, your body would be the receiving medium to the inductive substance, in this case, the ether, or what you call electricity. And your body will feel that instantly if this is the process that is actually occurring. Wow. Thank you, Carol. That's a great question. So I'm going to paraphrase a bit. In understanding then that electricity is what we're made of physically, and electricity is around us all the time, then if you got your body's low on energy that's causing disease or Master Jesus is stepping in and saying it's important you understand that if you are doing things to harm your body, if you are not putting good food, good flesh, good drink into your body, then you will not be able to ameliorate certain conditions. It works on the same principle as this. Okay, so everything's electrical. So what we ingest, what we drink, what we think is all electrical. So if your body's in a low potential and you're receiving a higher potential charge from an electrical field that's at the right frequency, it'll bring your body up energetically instantly. Wow. Thank you. There's so much that goes through at the same time, and I'm trying to pull out the parts that are relevant to what you're asking when there's just so much more about induction and transmutation and like all this stuff that's just coming through. And Master Jesus talking about how that's exactly what he did when he was the laying on of hands. He said it was a similar idea. His connection to source energy is always a higher potential, and so whenever he would touch somebody, that higher potential instantaneously affected them. And so too with these Tesla devices and these Tesla beds and these other technologies that are coming out now, the same thing will be true. If the potential is higher than the one that's lower, then the one that's lower will be brought up to the higher potential. Right? Basic electronics. And again, I'm not an electrician. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a physicist. I'm just a medium. They're laughing at me. They're saying, I'm more than that. Yes. Question from Lauren. What is the relationship of light in the human body? He's saying that's all there is. There is no relationship. That's all there is. The relationship comes in the differentiation process where you have begun to differentiate yourself from everything else. But the process of light in your body is always there. Yeah, it's always there. Wow. Thank you, Lauren. Question, let's scroll down here a little further. Question from Marie. Should I continue the practice of connection that I have learned recently? Or is this damaging my body? I've been feeling sensations in head and body that don't feel so nice. Master Jesus is saying what you need, only nature can give you. He's saying, these are his words, and I quote, go forth into that great tree. I don't know what he means by that. He's saying, go forth to that great tree and reside there. How long? She will know. So whatever that means to you, Marie, go to that great tree and reside there. Do you mean just like sit there? Yes. He says, go and sit there. He says there's two large roots coming off this tree. You want to sit between the two large roots. Put your arms on the roots, these large roots, and just rest in there. And allow that. That is what your body needs. He said your soul needs something else, but your body needs that. Wow. Cool. Thank you, Marie. Really appreciate that. Wonderful. Thank you. Well, guys, I think that's it for today. I want to say thank you, everybody, for showing up. Please, if you like these messages, if you like what you're experiencing here, if you like what you're learning, please become a member of my Patreon page. You can support this work through that, these messages through that. That's patreon.com/William Michael Forbes. And you can also, there's also on the videos, you'll see a link to my PayPal account. You can offer donations that way too. And 20% of everything that we get from YouTube and my Patreon channel goes to a group called ourrescue.org. And I encourage anybody, if you can, go support them, offer them support. They're an underground railroad system for rescuing children from the sex trade industry and from the basically slavery. And so their whole focus is rescuing children. So please go out and support them. And thank you for all your questions today, guys. Like, I learn as much as you guys are learning too. Like, when it comes through, it's like I'm in the schoolroom with you, right? So again, thank you for your questions. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your joy, your light, and your love. And we will see you again tomorrow. On Friday on Shortcuts for Your Soul. I'm excited about that one too. Much love, everybody. Bye for now.